Hi everyone, good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. My name is Jonathan Jeffries, and I will be your guide as you navigate microbiology, or as I like to call it, the world of the unseen. First things first, yes, I broke a tooth, and so I'm waiting to get in to see my dentist to get that fixed, so don't let that distract you as it is distracting me. Okay, if you've read my introductory announcement, I will restate for emphasis here. This is a 7-week course. It covers a bundle of material and it rolls along very, very quickly. So it is in your best interest to keep up with weekly readings and assignments. The schedule is open, that is, for the most part, you have all week to complete and submit your assignment. However, wait until Sunday evening trying to get everything done and done correctly and submitted on time is not a very wise POA. And especially true if you're taking microbiology lab concurrently, which I'm guessing that most of you are. There's a lot of stuff going on between these two classes, and then I know some of you are probably taking other classes on top of these. So it's a lot going on. 7 weeks goes by really, really fast. You'll see that. Okay, so the topics for the week include microbes in a human world, or my question is it humans in a microbial world? Because after all, there are some 5 nonillion, that's 5 times 10 to the 30th power. That's 5 with 30 zeros after it. It's astronomical. You can't even begin to fathom it, right? But it's 5 nonillion bacteria on the planet. Now, if that means nothing to you, try this. There are more microorganisms on Earth than there are stars in the sky. There are more than 1 billion microbes in a teaspoon of dirt that you might pluck out of your backyard. There are more than 1 million bacteria can fit on the tip that's the pointed end of a pen. I'm not talking about a writing pen, but I'm talking about like a sewing needle or a stick pen. More than 1 million can fit on the very top. You should Google that because there is a great electron micrograph of the tip of a pen with bacterial cells on it. It's incredible. Check it out. Google Images. There are more than 1 trillion microorganisms living on or in your body right now. So we say that microorganisms are ubiquitous. That just means they're everywhere all the time. The second topic is the molecules of life. This is microbiology. However, you still need to know a little bit about protons and neutrons and electrons and atoms and elements. I'll post some short videos for you that I made for my general biology class to kind of help you understand, help you recall, because most of you have been exposed to this information before about atoms and protons and neutrons and chemical bonds and pH and all that good stuff. Now, we collectively refer to all of that as biochemistry. That is the chemistry of biologic life or living organisms. Not to worry though, ours is very superficial, but there is still some stuff that you need to know. Okay. And then the third topic is cell structure and function. There are marked differences between bacterial cells. We call them prokaryotes. Kary pertains to a nucleus. Pro means before. So a prokaryote is a cell that forms before the nucleus came along. That includes bacteria, archaea. And then human cells or animal cells, we call those eukaryotes. EU means true, karyo is nucleus, so cells with a true nucleus are eukaryotic cells, or those animals, those organisms we call eukaryotes. So you'll learn to distinguish between the two cell types and come to appreciate, I hope, how bacteria can infect our cells and cause horrible diseases like meningitis and tuberculosis and anthrax and a whole host of other diseases. I call these housekeeping items. So for this week, you want to familiarize yourself with the syllabus and the assignment schedule. You want to make your first board post by introducing yourself. Just first post is just a simple introduction, telling myself and your classmates who you are, where you're from. You don't have to be specific. What do you like to do? Why are you taking the class? Whatever. My introduction is already on there. You can read through mine, and I made a note about my fur babies, and so you can check it out and use mine as a template for yours. That class introduction is due no later than Wednesday, however, June 25, 11:59 p.m. GCU time. You will hear me say 11:59 p.m. GCU time. I have to always remind you, this is the rule, I have to remind you of the submission deadline for all assignments. So sounds like a broken record, I know, and I know that you understand 11:59 p.m. But also remember, this is all Grand Canyon University time or Arizona time. I'm in the east. We're on Eastern time, so we're 2 hours difference. I think Arizona is Mountain time. So there's a difference. So for all of you who are not in Arizona, all of your submission deadlines are 11:59 p.m. Arizona time, or specifically GCU time, since I think there are two time zones in Arizona. Phoenix time, right? So just be aware of that. If you're on the East Coast like I am, the cutoff for us would be 2:59 a.m. I don't, not that you're up that late. I'm up that late sometimes, or that early sometimes, but anyway, that's the way that goes. We're 2 hours difference here in the East. Your first real, oh, and then there is a thing on there. Tell us, tell me about what you know about microbiology. You know, are you familiar with any of the concepts? That is due this evening. Okay, there's zero credit for that, but it's just to let me know that you are engaged in the class, right? You are here and you're taking the class, and that you're physically present, physically virtually present in the class. Okay, your first real discussion post, just follow the prompts under T1 or Topic 1, is due no later than Friday. Your initial post is due no later than Friday. That's June 27, 11:59 p.m. GCU time. But then you have to make six, through the course of the week, six peer responses throughout the course of the week. The rule at GCU is you make two on 3 different days during the week for a total of 6 in order to get your full participation points at the end of the week. That's 20 points possible. I posted a document, a PDF in class resources, showing you or explaining to you or detailing the information, the pertinent information that you need for composing discussion posts. Okay, so you want to check that out. There are some very specific guidelines there. So I have an example of a not so good one, an example of a pretty good one. I put an example of one of my own posts on there so you can get the idea of how those things are supposed to work. Okay, so make sure you check that out. Anyway, initial post due no later than Friday, June 27, 11:59 p.m. By the way, however, if you make your post earlier in the week, then you have more time to participate in discussion throughout the week. If you wait until Friday evening to do your initial post and you wait until Sunday to do your 6 peer responses, you cannot get full participation credit for that, okay? Again, the GCU guidelines are you make 2 peer responses on each of 3 different days throughout the week. So I'm a little bit flexible there, but certainly if you make all of your peer responses on Sunday, you cannot earn full credit. Okay, make sure you can connect to Connect. Connect is, if you're not familiar, is McGraw-Hill's. That's a publishing company, McGraw-Hill's platform, through which you will access all of your assignments and all of your activities, quizzes, and midterm and final exam, and all that stuff. So what you want to do is go to, again, T1 or Topic 1, open that up under Class Resources. Sorry, under not T1, but under Class Resources, you will see Nestor's Microbiology. That's your textbook. You'll see a little blue link. Click on that. That takes you to Connect. Enter your credentials, and that opens up Connect. Once you're into Connect, click on Topic 1. That opens a drop-down menu, and you'll see all of the assignments that are due for this week. There is a cell structure assignment, homework, and a cell structure quiz based on those items that you do for the homework. Both of those are due no later than Sunday. That's June 29, 11:59 p.m. GCU time. Again, the textbook is Nestor's Microbiology, a Human Perspective. You can use that as a resource for this class as well as your lab. And also, I do throughout the term post things in class resources. I'm pretty good about making an announcement when I do post something new, but always look in class resources, and I always label mine, title mine. It always says Jeffrey's first, and it'll say Jeffrey's tutorial on Myra, Jeffrey's tutorial on searching the GCU library, Jeffrey's description for a discussion post or whatever like that. Okay, so just check those out as well. Again, number of helpful resources in class resources, number of helpful resources in class resources, and I do post there throughout the term. Pay particular attention to due dates on all of your assignments. Proper credit can only be given for complete and timely submissions. Any questions or concerns or problems that you have along the way, please let me know as soon as possible. You can message me 804-229-7993. Use the Halo message box or inbox, whichever term you like best. Those are the 2 quickest ways to get a hold of me. And then certainly you can use campus email. If I'm in my office, by the way, my office hours are 9:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. That's East Coast. Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Wednesday and Friday I'm in the office, but my hours are flexible there. And I also work through the weekend and check my email a number of times there. If I'm in the office and you message me or message me directly or use Halo, then I can usually get to you. I will usually get to you within a few minutes or within an hour. Emails take a little bit longer. But anyway, so there are multiple ways to get a hold of me, so to get advantage of that. I've included a link to a video by Professor Dave. I like Professor Dave a lot, and I post a lot of his videos. It's called Introduction to the Microbial World, just to give you an idea of the kinds of things that we're going to be exploring throughout the next 7 weeks. Okay, that is all I have. 5 nonillion bacteria on the planet. That's a lot. All right. Let me know what's going on. Have a great rest of the week. And yeah, I'll talk to you later.